Well, as today's WEO highlighted, while the global economy has held together following successive shocks, policymakers must now walk a tightrope between bringing down debt while still supporting an inclusive growth. While there are no one-size-fits-all options, there are lessons that countries can learn from each other. I spoke with the finance minister of Angola, Vieira Daves de Souza, and I asked her how Angola has been able to manage public debt, particularly through those volatile periods.
We look at the debt as a whole, defining strategies to abort the external debt, but also the internal debt. Going back to the past, recalling COVID and all those circumstances, we took advantage of bilateral agreements that we start negotiation with our major bilateral creditor, China, even before COVID. So when COVID hit us, we was almost in track regarding that bilateral agreements to have some breathing space. On top of that, we had the DSSI initiative, the debt service suspension initiative. All this together, the DSSI and the bilateral agreements, gave us around 2020 and 2022 $6.3 billion of breathing space. So during this period, we didn't pay that amount. That was quite useful because at the same time we had to create conditions to address the COVID challenges and the drop on the fiscal revenues. Hopefully, at the same period, we were under a program with IMF implementing reforms on the fiscal side. So implementing the VAT, the special consumption tax, all this package together help us to navigate during those periods. Close to at the end of this breathing space period, we start talking with the World Bank to see how we can change some operations from variable rates to fixed rates. And it was quite previous the moment of the increased interest rates. So December 2021, we managed to close that deal, and we are talking about savings of around $270 million because of changing that interest rates from variable to fixed ones. What we also did was to approach our exposure to the international markets, issuing Eurobond around April 2022, and we took the advantage of it, $1.75 billion of issuance to buy back Eurobonds that were maturing in 2025, November 2025. So now we have less to face when that moment arrives, around half of the amount that we had to face without doing that operation. So this is some of the strategies that we did for the external side. Also with Israel, we managed to remove the collateral oil. Now we have the debt without collateral. We managed to pay completely our debt with Brazil. So that's approach for the external market. For the internal market, we swapped some operations from FX linked to plain vanilla Kwanza ones, and we also managed to extend some maturities that were concentrated in the short term, and we move it to up to 10 years. And this also helped us to move for around $6 billion per year of debt servicing for around $3.2 billion per year of debt servicing from 2025 to the years to come.
Minister, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.